Hey there, folks. I'm Mysterious JG, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2. Okay, so we were pretty close to having this thing figured out. The blank, or the unlit ones, you can change whichever one you change to red affects which one you're moving. We already found that we kept fighting the fish guy over and over again. This is where the fish lives, by the way. Kept fighting him over and over again and rotating a set piece in the same direction. And yeah, what I was kind of thinking out loud was like, is it just really that you just set one of the three bottom ones and the top three that you need to get out are always locked in place so you can't screw it up? Yes, that's what it is. Game sets it up so that if you don't feel like dealing with the puzzle, you can always get out. You never, by initiating the puzzle, to get to the bottom, prevent yourself from dealing with um, in the middle, because that thing that's only 3 stages down is how we actually advance. I think that 6 stages down, it's like a single room with a treasure in it. So you have those 3 ones that are blank/red that select. We had found the one that kept moving things in the same direction by fighting the fish boss. The other boss, we find at a different platform, and if we just keep fighting him, it moves the other direction. And this one that we touched does not have a battle, and it takes whatever you've done and advances it 3 places, thus putting it the opposite of where it was. And that's where I got really confused. It's like, whoa, did I reset it? It's like, no, I moved one of them so much that it was completely out of whack where it was. Now it's back. Which means that if we come down this way twice, we should get to the tower that lets you fight the Precepts Guardian. And that should move it in the opposite direction, which is where I should have left it. No, damn. And we can't escape, which means I got turned around and now we've moved it. We're actually probably better off fighting this thing several times to move it to the right place because we're just moving it. Or maybe if we moved it one more and then... I don't know. I screwed it up. So we gotta remember where this guy is. Because we should know which of these guys we're fighting, or else we'll move things in the wrong direction. I guess we're leveling up by fighting him. Yeah, 800 is not bad experience for this point. But I think I might be better off just reversing it now. Seeing where that ends it up. Seeing where that ends it up. Good job, GG. Okay. Now it's directly under that thing, so let's figure out if that fish guy was moving stuff clockwise or counterclockwise. I think it was clockwise, so I think we want to fight it again. And then switch towers and start fighting the other guy so that I can oversoul him, even if that might not be the most efficient way to advance the platforms. Once I've got them both oversouled, we just need to find the most efficient way to actually move the dang things. It helps that these battles don't take very long, right? I mean, surely that makes it easier to deal with for you guys. I think it was worth stealing from him. Uh-oh. I wasn't thinking I turned Yuna to, Oh, it is using magic, even though it's oversold. I thought it only attacked. Oh, I didn't get to kill it in time. Yeah, because I think the oversold version actually stole... I can't remember now, but I think it actually had treasure worth stealing. I mean, I could... There we go. Yeah, now we're on the right track. I could go back and... If I actually remembered what it is that that thing gave us when we stole from it, it would be more tempting, potentially. I could now, like, especially if I wasn't in a hurry, short circuit, maybe? I think that might have been what it was. Eh, not that impressive. Okay, so that should mean that fighting that going there will get us into a battle with that other boss. But since that is now lined up where we actually want it to go, let's start manipulating another platform. And even if it's maybe not the most efficient way, depending, we'll use this to move it around so that we can fight that other boss. Please don't beat Geo Sasparilla again. Okay, good, it's not. And now with Death Proof on, it's Osmos, who cares? Demi is probably the most devastating thing it has, and that's just an annoyance. Well, it only got off one attack anyway if you just spam off attacks. So, okay, I'm now thinking I am overleveled. Yeah, well. Tried so hard not to be overleveled, got frustrated by a couple of boss fights that were tougher than they should have been, and I probably went too far in the other direction. Okay. Problem now is I can't really tell which one was moving. It's obviously one of the two at the bottom. One of which is actually where we want it to be. I think. Because I think I'm directly above the treasure there. So it's going to get kind of difficult to tell what's going on. Yes, I could have finished off this puzzle off screen, but at this point I figure it's no longer just completely blind experimentation. It'd be interesting and fun for you guys to join along. It's the most devastating attack it has, it truly isn't that much. We learned Phoenix Down, or rather Yuna learned Phoenix Down, which is actually something which was a minor irritation that she didn't know when we first fought this boss. Although frankly, her trying to use the stash command, which kind of gives you a free Phoenix Down but takes longer, would have been an even dumber way to go about things in that fight, considering that those are not expensive items. Well, I think the one that I want to have moving is the one that's moving. It might take quite a few of these before it gets where we want it to go. I was hoping we might get it killed without it getting off an attack one of these times. Just for funsies. A small part of me wants to go back and see what happens if you touch that pedestal that gave us directions on this whole thing, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually do anything. Drat. That's not actually right, is it? I think we've got the 5th one where the 6th one should be, and the 6th one where the 5th one should be. That is exactly what happened. Alright, well, that being the case, I need to switch which one I'm moving around with the red thingy. Try this. This one's lit red. Boy, that one's lit red too. They can't both be. Well, whatever. Certainly got to keep fighting them until I oversoul this one now. I don't want to make this more complicated than it is. Oh, bio. Why did I use bio? Well, it missed, so who cares, but that's an interesting little twist. Fortunately, that's kind of the opposite of where we needed it to go. And now, I think if we move it to opposite position, it'll be alright, but I can't remember if that's going to be this or if this is going to be the fish boss. Oh, good. That doesn't seem to have helped us. I knocked that fourth one out of position somewhere. Well, I hate to do it, but I gotta fight the damn fish again because apparently I screwed up and fought the Precepts Guard too many times. So I think I gotta fight a fish again to get that fourth one back in the right position. And I'm having a paranoia attack about whether I'm actually recording, so I gotta check that. Luckily I can just slam these buttons while I do that. Don't have to worry too much about the fight. And I am recording, so that's good. I did mention this was like the closest this game felt to having like a real dungeon. But it just kind of turned into a minigame, didn't it? Again, though, if we didn't care about getting that treasure at the bottom, we're all set to move forward at any time. But I found, when I went to read up on how to do this, I figured I was close, but I wanted to make sure. Yeah, there we go. So we gotta switch which one we're manipulating here. Because we're manipulating the wrong one. So I'll hit you. I choose you. But I found out what that treasure is down there, and it's a ribbon, which is totally worth getting. Ah, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. So let's see where the other two are, so I know which one I'm moving. One of them's directly below, and one of them's just to the right. I think I want this one here to move. Actually, the frustration is I kind of feel like I'm close, but I should be using the fish boss instead of the insect boss. But the insect boss is the one I haven't oversold yet. It keeps seeming like it got off its death attack. So that'll miss, or be guarded rather. Now if I do that one more time and then move that thing that moves at 3, will it be where it should be? I believe so. And then I gotta start moving that other one around. Oh, finally. Finally. Now I can actually just work on whichever one I actually need to attack. Recovery bracer A. I'm overreacting to the challenge it represents now that it's oversold. I didn't bother to scan it either. What a bitch, huh? I mean, not me, but any one of the girls who could potentially have scanned. I was like thinking any of these girls could have scanned it, but none of them did. What bitches. No, whatever it's oh, it's using elemental attacks. That's right. That's not its pattern. I was like, it's fighting the same as before. No, it's fighting the same as Geo Sarsaparilla, whatever it was before. And I've once again lost track of what it's going to move it halfway across. But I think that's what happens if I move... I think if I move in this direction twice, that'll move it. And then touch this one. I think this is the one. God damn it. And there's no runaway. So now I have to fight the Precepts Guard again to correct the damage that I got by guessing wrong here. But I learned, I got some levels. We had some laughs. Live and laugh and love, folks. What else can you do? Huggles. Speaking of Huggles, it happens to be Sunday evening as I record. Probably Grim is streaming. And here I am on my lonesome playing HD remasters of ancient RPGs. I shouldn't say ancient. I mean, I don't have a nostalgia thing for them, but I was just... The other day, I was visiting Old Dragon's channel and noticing that he's got, you know, he's got a lot of the old Gold Box games, which were like PC RPGs. It must be close to my age, because I remember those being out when I was pretty young, and I didn't play them, but seeing them in the stores. Being kind of conceptually interested in them, but they seemed too complicated for me when I was a youngster. But so I never tried any of those out. But I do remember some of the fantasy cover art, you know, well mocked and parodied over the years. That old early '80s in particular, although I think it lives on style of fantasy artwork. There was one particular one of this, like, you know, some sorceress in like a skin-tight black dress, you know, their hands over her head and summoning power, and as a little kid finding this image appealing but not really knowing why. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that character from the box art probably has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. So this should move that to where I want it to be. Although it's probably very difficult for me to see. And now I think if I can just switch to this one, the correct one, may or may not be this that switches it. Okay. I'm going to try this one just so I can spot which one it is. And then I'll move it right back. But I can actually find out which one it is without doing a fight. And I think the one I want to move is the one that's now selected. But I don't remember which boss I fight to get it to go the right way. So let's just pick one, and if that's wrong, we'll fight the other one twice. And if I'm right, we're done. And all of this, I never really successfully locked down what order these things are in between the fish boss and the insect boss, but I do have a party that's sufficiently overleveled that each of these fights is very easy. Although I would have to think, considering how many times, even if you figure it out perfectly or have a FAQ and know how to do it without trial and error, you do have to fight each boss several times, even in the most efficient possible run-through. So I would imagine you were always kind of meant to... Come on, come on, come on. Oh. Yeah, that was the wrong one. So I'll have to fight the thing 2 more times now. And that really ought to do it. But yeah, I don't think these boss fights are supposed to be that bad. Maybe not. They probably weren't supposed to be where you can just defeat them before they can get off an attack. But Alchemist does pretty decent damage. It's doing about as much damage as a warrior. Or maybe not as much damage as a warrior. Maybe that's a critical hit, but... Alright, one more, and that should be it. Unless I sorely misunderstand this puzzle. One more time. We basically did everything that I could have hoped to do here. We oversold both of those monsters, which means I still have the option of trying to do that whole let's oversoul everything in one playthrough bit here rather than the second playthrough. And if I go for that, like for reals, I'll have to do a lot of that off screen. And Bio missed, which is just lucky because it is a mauled annoyance to deal with. But we oversold both of those guys and are going to get our optional super treasure. And while I was looking at the rules for how to do this minigame, well, it's not a minigame. I guess it is. Well, it's a puzzle within the main game. That's what it is. But while doing that, I also kind of checked, and we have not missed any important treasures so far. So we are well on our way to a full run of this, as I described before, the closest thing this game has to a standard, like, lengthy, linear, combat-laden dungeon. And we just pop out here, and there's just one little chest. But it's got a ribbon. We are going to put that on Yuna right away in place of the angel rings because I'm pretty sure death counts as a status ailment that she's immune to now, but I'm not positive about that. So Tetragard plus ribbon, not a bad combination. So honestly, the whole protection against death was coming out of a very specific enemy that we were dealing with, and is probably not necessary anymore. Let's go ahead and give you Heady Perfume, which Yuna had been using. And we'll give you... got a lot of regen bangles. Mortal Shock, because it's extremely beneficial if I'm fighting mobs of monsters that I couldn't avoid with Charm Bangle. Now that I think about it, nobody has Charm Bangle equipped. I don't think there are random encounters in this room. But there probably will be random encounters later. Well, you know what? We haven't actually seen what random encounter monsters are like around here. Now this is familiar, because this looks a lot like the optional dungeon that I shouldn't have mentioned, because now you guys have some clue as to what that optional dungeon is going to be about. And you have to look around carefully here. Yeah, just a bunch of Yevon robots. I think that's pretty much what it's going to be about down here. I'm going to keep fighting just to see if there's anything more interesting. There were some fiends about. Yeah, but the problem with here is because of the way the camera works, I keep feeling like I'm supposed to search every nook and cranny for hidden stuff, like here. Is there hidden stuff? Is there hidden stuff? I guess that fact that I closed would have told me. there's anything worth keeping an eye out for. It's not hidden exactly, but... Oh no. Okay. About to say, what if that was a scene that led me straight to the new area? Like, I hate anything where I'm like, I didn't get a chance to look in both directions before the plot carried me forward. Well, considering how pathetic the enemies here are, I must be really overleveled. And now this is bothering me because I don't know what's the correct way to proceed. You know what? These, I think this guy might have a blue magic to teach us. Well, everybody who was switched over in time learned it, but you didn't. So that kind of sucks. Well, we'll get... I guess we'll all hang around for a while until Pain can learn it. But yeah, no, I kind of knew that there was some blue magics waiting in the wings, but we couldn't quite get to them yet. Being that can turn objects to stone with a glance, take it for granted, and its stony glare will shatter any doubt. And unfortunately, my irritation with this is that it's Final Fantasy X, where they pretty consistently tell you if something is coming along that will have a blue magic for Kumari. In this game, they don't actually tell you if something. And now I gotta use a remedy on. Did she just kill you? Are you like gonna shatter now? No. You're immune to physical damage. You don't shatter. Interesting. You jerk, he used Heaven's Cataract and apparently it missed me. Apparently Heaven's Cataract is... This game does have some, like, space mechanics. Space mechanics? No, this game has some mechanics where, like, distance between you and the enemy and... Like, Yuna's now, like, actually being molested by that thing's tail. Look. Oh, this is gonna get old. But there are certain dress spheres that will keep you, Ooh, you see that? It looks like we got some status ailment, or like some stuff inflicted by being hit with Heaven's Cataract. Heaven's Cataract is decreasing stuff like speed, and it keeps using that thing on us and not Pain. Like it knows. And in this game, it doesn't actually work for you to... See, I'm trying to get its attention on Pain somehow. Yeah, shit's not gonna work on Yuna. She's got ribbon, bitch. Yo, bitch magnets. Can you please attack Pain? I think it's actually going for Heaven's Cataract again. I'm not sure what the issue is, but it's not going to use it on Pain. It's really focused its attention on these two. It's alternating between regular attacks, Stony Gaze, and Heaven's Cataract. Now it's going to use Stony Gaze. Looks like it's targeting Riku, who actually would be affected by it. But it didn't do it. It just, the text appeared and then it didn't do it. I keep hoping somehow attacking with Pain will draw its attention. And I keep being wrong. So... I'm uneasy only because I don't want to miss something and I haven't saved for a while. And it's pretty much time to call it a video anyway. So I'm going to quick peek at a FAQ and make sure I don't miss anything important in the next short little bit before we get any kind of chance to save our game. And when we come back, we'll continue on. I might just run around and try to encounter another Kuklan, or whatever they're called, just so that we can get a little bit of blue magic up in this piece. I'm Serious GG. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.